What's up, guys? Today we're just going to be playing Druid and Mage games, as many as we can, as quick as we can. Let's see what we're going to do here. Make this decision. Right now I'm playing Egg Druid, also known as Token Druid. I'm playing in Wild. First day of the season, I've had like very bad success with Aggro Druid in Standard, and I was playing Secret Mage in Wild, right? So I keep switching back between both formats, and then I just realized that Aggro Mage or Aggro Druid is actually pretty strong. Seems pretty strong in Wild. Seems a lot stronger than it is in Standard, and Mage is a lot stronger right now in Standard than it is in Wild. So maybe for this video I'll just switch around my games. So for this video I'm gonna play more Aggro Druid in Wild and Mage in Standard, as opposed to vice versa, right? So, and we'll see how that turns out for us. Alright. We got some secrets up. Let's see what they are. Okay, there's a Noble Sacrifice. Okay. Let's buff everything up a bit. Let's do this. No, let's kill this. Let's just kill this off. Now I'm not worried too much about Consecrate Equality, because my board is very, very sticky. So I'm just gonna go for the face.
I have no time for games.
Yeah, I mean that's, you know, he's facing lethal, so he's dead. Let's see. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 12 damage right off the bat. So you know that's lethal. Easy wins. If you are just joining us, you are watching Getting Stoned with Nathan. Right now we are playing Aggro Druid in Wild. So remember, my game plan is whenever I lose 2 games with the deck, I switch over to the other format, right? And I may just play Druid for the whole run, just since we're so close. We're at 360 wins, so we're only 140 wins away from 500. And then I don't even have to mess with the class anymore. I can concentrate on Mage more, which is fun. I'm actually having a lot of fun playing Mage. I got a fun Mage deck to show you later on for Wild, which I think is just very, very creative and very powerful, even though it's a little slow. But yeah, on to the quicker stuff for now. I don't know if you keep Nerubian Egg, but we will keep the Creeper. The Creeper seems like a pretty good card.
Greetings.
Echoing Ooze, you should mulligan this back whenever you get it. It's a much slower card. This is more like a turn 4, turn 5 play. Because we have such a low curve, I'm going to go ahead and just point out this Creeper, because I can follow it with a turn 2, another Creeper, and follow it with taunts or whatever. But chances are I will probably hold off on playing the taunt till turn 4, when I could put it on an Echoing Ooze. That is likely to give me good value. So he casts Shadow Visions here, and so we know that this card up here is this card. we'll see what he decides to do with it. Let's see. Because this could be, maybe he was holding on to Dragon Fire Potion, or maybe that's what he tutored for. So okay, so here we're just gonna make some saplings, and we're gonna buff everything, because this is pressure. This is what, 7 damage on the board. So kind of want to get our opponent to feel a little threatened about what's out there. Maybe force him to use some removal here. Okay, double smite. Top Kekagoni, that's a code name. And he still has the card. Maybe he's playing some kind of crazy spell mage. So one thing here is we don't get the draw from Mark of the Wild because the slime is obviously not a beast. But turn 4, putting down 6-8 worth of stats, that's pretty valuable. Now I really expect this card that he visioned for to be Dragon Fire Potion or something similar in terms of power. Oh, okay, or maybe Circle. Alright, well, things are looking good here. Let's get a better hero power. Let's get a Hunter hero power or something. We're gonna take Fireball, we can work with that. So now we got a nice board because we have 12 damage just off the Roar alone. There's chances are this is a Dragon Fire Potion, so let's see what his card that he Shadow Vision for is. Like, he can't just hero power and pass. This is a dangerous play. So, okay, so I mean he's gone to less than 10 right here. So we'll do this. Oh, and we got lethal, so that was pretty wild. That was incredible. So you can see why this is one of the top tier decks in Wild, I guess. It's a very powerful deck, very quick. And just very resilient, you know, because of the tokens, the nature of Death Rattle cards. We're watching Getting Stone. How fast we can get to 500 wins. That's not the deck list. That is not the correct deck list, obviously.
I will fight with honor.
Let me see if I can get that changed for you. One moment, guys. Okay, we're challenging Paladin. We're going to send this back. We want the early game creatures. Corsair is good because of patches, right? Keep that. This deck is for you. Alright, there. So that is the deck list that I'm running. As you can see, a card that not a lot of people play that I am playing is Galactic Crawler. At least not in Wild. I don't think too many people play this. But my first few games were mostly Pirate Warrior, and Pirate Warrior is probably the most top tier deck in Wild right now. From what I've seen, I really haven't seen too much. So that said, I want to do what I can to be able to combat it. So I put 2 Galaka Crawlers, I removed the Soul of the Forest, and I removed the Defender of Argus, which I feel kind of bad about. Defender of Argus is a pretty good card, especially with all the eggs that you play. So thinking about changing another card, or I'm not sure what though.
Out of my jungle.
So we are just going to continue to keep the pressure on here. And build our board. That's a good card. So you can see by the way he's pointing his attacks, he's trying to get them into consecrate range. So, and he's debating the best way to do that. So now that I know that I have to play around consecrate, I'm going to play something that I know that won't die to consecrate, which is obviously Jeeves. There's 2 things happen here. If he consecrates, he's only going to kill these 2 characters. And he's also going to prevent himself from playing more cards and dumping his hand, which means that next turn I will have a crazier Jeeves turn, right? So I'm pretty sure this is not what he wants to do on this turn. Okay, so here I'm going to just kill this first because I expect, okay, I'm not sure what the card is now. Okay, let's buff it a bit. And in this situation, I'm going to go ahead and play out that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You can go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and trade that trade here because the slime would die to a consecrate anyway. So I'm just kind of playing around his removal, you know, because like even if he consecrates here, I still have 2 3/3 or 3 3/3s. So I still have a really deadly board. It's not an easy decision for him there. If you like what you see, remember, comment, follow us on YouTube. Remember, we're not streaming. Baby, what are you making? For what? For what? Okay.
Let me think.
So, looks like our opponent's kind of thinking it over.
Let's move quickly.
This deck is very powerful. I'm actually surprised about how resilient this egg Druid deck is. Our opponent's pretty much given up. And if he gives up, he loses because we have 6 creatures, 7, so that's 7 times 2, that's 14 damage. Just from Roar alone, so easy game. Like, our opponent pretty much just gave up. So another easy win. So we're quickly 5-0 right now with this deck, which is, I'd say that's pretty good. I've never played the deck, but this is pretty simple. The game plan is pretty simple. You just swarm the board, play around removal, and kind of just ride your small creatures and their resiliency to victory, right? Remember, please, like, if you like what you see, like, comment, subscribe. We are pushing really hard. We don't really care too much about the rank. I mean, the rank is important, is nice, but we're really just pushing the wins and how fast we can win games. So that's why we're playing this deck. Because the thing about this deck is it has tough matchups. There are matchups that it'll lose immediately. But by the nature of the games, we're going to be able to play a lot more games and get a lot more wins in a short period of time. You know, as opposed to playing like Priest. You know, so that's the game plan. Galaka Crawler, if I had 1-drops in my opening hand, I would keep this versus Rogue. Just because of the nature of Rogue and the type of cards they play. I'll take the Totem here just because of the nature of buffs. We don't really need the Warlock hero power because we have Jeeves, and Jeeves plays very well into our game plan. I'm going to just Totem here. Like, he's not playing Quest Rogue. If he was playing Quest Rogue, I would dump my hand here. But he has Coin, so I want to play around Fan of Knives. Like, and the only other option would have been to play Blood Cell and Living Roots. And if he cleared that with Fan of Knives, that would be a huge loss for me. So instead, we're going to slow play it. Alright, now we can do something a little cool. So I will play the weapon to remove his, and then we'll just buff up our minions a bit. So this is nice tempo. Protects us from his Fan of Knives. Once he goes Blood Mage, prep, Fan of Knives. There's prep. Oh, maybe it is Quest Rogue. No, because he mulliganed this card back. I don't see this being Quest Rogue. Oh, that is a smart play. That was awesome. That was awesome. And then, you know, he can arm a weapon up and then pretty much clear my board. Dang, that is cool. That is one of the coolest things I've seen so far. That was awesome. That was well played. That was cool.
Well played.
Too soon.
It's interesting that he made that decision. I actually think that this is a mistake on his part. I'm actually positive it's a mistake on his part. Think about how I want to situate my buffs. So I'm going to go ahead and clear the board here because I'm not really sure what he's doing and I don't have Jeeves yet. So I can't get into a war where, like a top deck war. I really need Jeeves before I start, you know, trying to get overly aggressive. That was an amazing play though.
What a deal.
Alright, so this is a weird position. I'm gonna have to
My shield for Argus.
I don't feel too great about this play, but I'll do it. I didn't want to lose my crawler because he was so buff, but we did trade up, right? Oh no, we didn't even trade. Yeah, we traded up, I guess. So we took care of really high statted minions, so I guess that's okay. We're losing right now. Even though we got the life lead, we are losing. We have the life, we have the board, but we're running out of fuel in our hands, so we are behind.
Trust the pirate's cove.
Alright, okay. Luckily, our opponent is... I think he's making some poor decisions, so...
Into the
Let's do this, let's do this, let's... Let's buff this board up. The other option was I used the living roots to deal the damage, and instead I keep a 2/3 on the board. But that doesn't seem like the right play. Like Savage Roar, if we top deck Savage Roar, we pretty much win right here. So we're gonna just slow play. And Haunted Creeper, that's gonna work. That'll help a lot. And I'm pretty sure, like if he had Fan of Knives at prep, he would have thrown out that Fan of Knives, or like a Blood Mage or whatever. I think he's drawing dead here. He's in trouble. Now you can imagine how crazy that Ship's Cannon turn would have been if he had, or that Patch's turn would have been if he had Ship's Cannon. That would have been something pretty insane. And we just got too much damage on him. So another quick win, you know, that's turn 7 or something, right? And we're quickly moving up the ranks right now. It's pretty awesome. Power of this deck. You can see it on the right? You're just joining us, you're watching Get Stone. First Stone's we are playing Aggro Druid, Egg Druid in the wild right now. To deal with the pirates, the warriors. Warriors is top deck, so you gotta tech a little bit for it, and you know, some other decks play pirates as well, so you know, do what we can. Cool, this is a pretty sweet hand, I guess. Now I'm going to play the Firefly first. Well, actually, I will play Sir Finley first because it has the best body. The most competitive body to fight for the board. If I had an activator, I would have played Dragon Egg first because I want to get the Dragon Egg involved as soon as possible. I don't want to use the Mark of the Wild on it, so I will play Sir Finley. And I think Hero Power, Priest Hero Power is going to help a lot in this, so especially if it's the mirror. So it is not the mirror. It's likely to be some kind of miracle druid. Yeah, now we can go ahead. We'll just go ahead and play this out. I think my positioning was weird there. Typically, what I do is I put the stronger creatures to the left and then the weaker creatures to the right. The tokens I usually put to the right, but the token generators, right? Alright, so some kind of ramp druid, so I really want to put pressure on now. Like, as soon as possible. Now the question is here, what do I want to do? Do I want to drop 3 1/2s right away? Or do I want to drop 1 and then buff the egg? Right? So if I buff the egg, I add 2 damage straight off the board. If I play the 3 1/1s, I build a stronger board. I think I will play the 3 1/1s. That might seem like a stronger overall play. Because what happens here is like a next turn Savage Roar is strong. Okay, so and Swipe is not going to clear this board. Starfall might, now that I think about it. Okay, no, it's Nourish. Like, what do we got? 6 creatures, 6, 7, that's 21 damage. That's 21 damage without activators, right? So, yeah, that's significant. You know what I mean? that's. That's Fred talking.
For the wild.
So I made a bad play. I shouldn't have played this Corsair. But I did. It's in the past. Alright, well, let's buff some shit up here. Actually, let's use a heal. So let's heal this. I can make 2 plays here. I can use the buff, add some damage on the board, but I know he's going to clear this. Let's do this. Let's do this. Right. It's not a bad play. There's a swipe. Okay, now we are in trouble. Now we really need... So he's going to stabilize here. I think maybe that one play with the Pirate Warrior kind of fucked us over. So now we gotta kind of see if we can draw into... What the hell? Is this not a beast? Oh, it's Mark of the Wild, not the other card. Actually, maybe I should change this to the...
Well played.
Okay, so now this is a problem because in the long game, our opponent has the advantage. He's gonna drop, you know, Art of or Ancient of War. Yeah, so we are behind for sure. We're gonna concede that. So that's our first loss, and I think that was due to a misplay. Yeah, that was a misplay. I should have kept that 7th creature slot on the board open so that when he went for the swipe, I'd at least put the 2/1 on board. I think the 2/1 would have helped a lot in damage, and it would also allow me to play the Corsair and get patches out later in the game should I needed it. Should I have needed it, right? So that was a definite misplay on my part. My wife's cooking some beautiful, delicious smelling food right now. I don't know what it is, but it smells great. So I'm not familiar with all the decks in Wild, but this is a gold portrait Warlock. So I assumed he was playing Reno Lock, and he's clearly playing Zoo. So I made a poor decision there. But it is what it is. So we'll do. The other option was to play Mark of the Wild on the Corsair and kill off the Flamin', but then I don't know. I don't feel that play is strong enough. This, however, is a strong follow-up because now he's forced to deal with the egg, which gives a stronger late game advantage for us. Maybe he forces him to use a soul fire. No.
Get in there and fight, maggot!
Yeah, that's a misplay on his part.
For the wild.
You should always fight for the board versus Zoo, because their creatures are low cost, but the other creatures buff them, right? So you want to make sure that they don't get to trade up on you. Like I said, we're gonna just clear what we can. Solo the Force is great. It's gonna, because he's still forced to clear some of this board, and we're gonna be able to keep our tempo and have damage on the board even if he deals with it. So that helps. This is fine. Cool. I got some pretty fair draws here. You know what? Just to keep the moment. You know what? Maybe I should have played a Savage Roar there. I don't know. No, maybe not. I don't know. I'll keep the Savage Roar just in case of what is that card? Doom Guard or something. All right, so he busts that. So I'm gonna play a Savage Roar here. I need to get through this taunt. So we know for a fact we can do Savage Roar. We'll clear. We have 4 more mana to make use of. We'll just put some 1/1s on the board. Now this is a very powerful board right now. If he leaves 3 creatures on the board, he's gonna die. So unless there's a taunt, he's dying. Yeah, so he's dead. Very powerful deck, guys. So very easy. I mean, in the span of 30 minutes, we're 8-1. So we've got, or 7-1. I'm sorry. So we're gonna average over 10 wins an hour. And, that's the kind of deck you want to play. Because in 5 hours, I mean, assumedly in 5 hours, I'm going to be very close to finishing 500 wins with this deck. So, pretty awesome. And this is fun. I like all these cards that I didn't play in the past that I now get to play in the wild. Pretty interesting.
Nature must be preserved.
Druid. I think we'll keep the Corsair. assumedly, he's not running many more pirates, so we're gonna go ahead and get rid of that pirate now and put substantial stats on the board. Turn 1. And this is fine. You can see it's wow, that's quick. I'll take wins like that. So thank you guys for watching the video. Tell me what you think about the deck. It's pretty crazy, pretty fast. If you're just trying to get wins, I think it's a good deck to play. See you next time.